Okay, so today we are going to discuss about policies, how to apply policies. Okay. So if you want to apply policies, okay, yesterday we imported RAML from the design center, right? Same step we have to follow. First thing is very first thing, we need to go to the design center. We need to create the API. That already we did, right?
Yes.
Okay. So once we created design, what we did, we published that API to the exchange. Then we imported to the studio. So the moment you imported, so it will create a scaffold for us like this. This we can call it as scaffold. Okay. Now, next we need to go to the, one second. So yesterday I created account, right? For that I logged in. So here first step is in the design center, we created RAML. So based on the requirement, we constructed this RAML. So after completion of our RAML, what we need to do? We need to mock this service, and that mocking URL we need to provide to the client. So based on their client inputs, what we need to do? Again, we need to rework on it. Whether if any changes will be there, we need to rework on it. If there are no changes, what we need to do? We have to publish that API to the Anypoint Exchange. Okay. So after publishing our API to the exchange, what will happen? Other developers, managers who is having access for this platform, they can see our API specs. So once that is done, so we need to go to the API manager. In the API manager, what we will do?
Find
Here,
out our API which
We
we
create and configure APIs.
create in runtime.
yeah, here we need to configure our API. Here we are going to apply policies here. So click on manage API from the exchange. So here we need to search that API. What was our API name?
Calci.
Calci. Just click on it. Automatically it will fetch all the details. See, asset type, it selected RAML or OS. Version we give asset version 1.0. So everything we got it. Okay. Now simply what you need to do, you just save this application. So the moment you save this, you will get one API ID. Okay. So what this API ID will do, it is going to pair, it is going to establish the connection between Anypoint Studio and Anypoint platform.
Runtime platform.
So try to copy this API ID and you have to provide here. Where you will provide, click on global elements, click on create, type auto discover. The moment you type auto API, auto discovery, it will come. Select this. So here, whatever the API ID will be there, that you have to write it. So you just copy paste it. Flow name, right? You just drag and drop. Select the main flow always. Calci main. Okay. Now click on OK. So this is the step which you need to remember. Understood? Now again, come back here. Okay. Right click. Try to deploy your project. So now if you go to here, can you see here API status is unregistered in the API manager. If the status is unregistered, what will happen? You are not going to apply any policy at any cost. If you want to apply this policy, what will happen? Your API status will be registered. Okay, here it is showing unregistered. So if you want to change this status from unregistered to registered, what will happen? You have to deploy your applications to cloud. Okay. So you know very well, right, how to deploy our application to Cloud Hub. Can someone tell me how to deploy our application to cloud?
By using two
Go
methods
to
actually. By
Two ways
Java
through
method
runtime
or directly.
Very good. Through runtime manager
and
any
from
point.
Studio.
Very good. Okay. Perfect. Okay, now what will happen? Let me go there. Whether it is deployed. Okay, my application is successfully deployed. Okay, how to test this in the Postman? Can someone tell me like exactly how we need to test this API?
The runtime manager will get the URL.
main, we have already used
Okay, first what I will do. Come on, it is loading. Okay, can someone tell me the URL? Localhost :
8080.
8081, right? Let me go back. Yes, let me click on this listener.
We are already deployed, right? We'll get the URL, right?
808 localhost 8081. What is the resource path?
API.
/API/ let me come back. /API/ then. So in meanwhile, what I'll do, I'll go to runtime manager. I'll delete that. Okay, so now I came here. Now tell me what is the resource path here? /API/ then.
Addition.
Addition.
Sir, remove the store.
And then we need to pass some query params, right?
I think store is not there.
Sorry.
Store.
After 8081, store is not there.
Store is not there.
Correct. Wait came. Okay. Next num0. I'm giving some values. Now let me hit the send button. What happened? Why we are getting this? Localhost : 8081 /API/ audition.
After API/star is there, sir.
Hashtag means like it will allow any endpoint name. See,
Oh.
if I come back here, see, usually we are going to write the fixed resource path, right? So, but here what will happen? No. So instead of hashtag, see, if we have multiple endpoints in your API, see, suppose in our case we have one second. So in our case, we have only one resource path addition. See, if we have one more resource path, yesterday someone asked me, right, if we have multiple resources, how to call how API Kit router, it will reroute that request to that particular flow. So wherever you see hashtag, that time you can keep /addition. If you want, you can write subtraction also. Understood? One second, let me show you. So that is application is deployed, right? So here it is deployed. Now what I'll do, again, I'll go back here and I'll go to this. Let me export this. Right click, how to export? Click on export. Click on next. It will generate a jar file. Finish. Already it was there. Let me replace that. So once we export this, okay, successfully exported. Now I'll go back here. I'll go to runtime manager. Deploy application. So here you have to choose a file, upload a file. What was the name?
Calci.
Very good. Calci job. Today 8:13. Let me select this. Open it. Okay. So here you just provide the name. Calci. So this name is available. Now here you have to add some properties over here. Okay. So how to add this properties? Here you just write any point dot platform dot client underscore ID. Next, client underscore secret. So where you will get this client ID and client secret?
Access management.
Hmm?
Access management.
Very good. So now again, let me make it as this tab as a duplicate.
What's access
Okay.
management?
So management center, access management. In the access management, where we'll get? Tell me.
The environment.
Environments. A sandbox. Can you see? Here client ID is there. Just copy this. So I copied this and this is client secret.
But when we'll configuration in Studio, sir, so automatically then property side it will come, na? Now you're manually. See, now you're manually putting in the properties, but in Studio where you will configure to API manager, automatically it will come.
No, if you keep in the property file, then only you have to call that. Then only it will come.
Okay.
Okay. Now I'll come back here. So client secret, I pasted here. DF client secret. Sorry, this is client ID. Okay, next. Okay, now let me deploy this application. See here you can see the progress.
This Cloud
Uh,
Hub on top of AWS, it is working.
Yes, correct.
And there are some different kind of environment, right? Like public, private, and public private. So whatever the application we are deploying, so it will directly go to public environment or like private.
Yeah. See, this is pre-subscription, right? It will go to public.
Okay, so how we can like create like our own
Now, if you
private
take
environment?
licensed one, if you buy something, they will give you some private space to you, so that others they cannot access.
That means we cannot access this.
We can access. I'll show you how to access this.
why did we add client's ID and password here?
Sorry. See,
Why did we
because we do have multiple applications. If you are not able to provide that client ID and client secret, your application, you will not get the proper output. Why it is taking more time? See, actually, I came to hometown. My brother marriage yesterday completed. Okay. Again, tomorrow morning, early morning, I'll traveling to Hyderabad. Okay, so that I'll get good internet connection and all everything, so that I can fix all your videos related stuff. Everything I can fix. Okay.
Tomorrow session is there or not?
No. Tomorrow early morning 5 I will start. I'll reach around 11, I think.
No class, huh, tomorrow?
No. Tomorrow no session. This week I will complete your course. Okay. Tomorrow Wednesday, right? So Thursday, Friday, Saturday, I'll take sessions. Then I'll give you 2 days break. Again, I will take you one session that is related to your resumes and experience. How many years you want to keep, everything we will discuss.
By next weekend, we can.
And also, like, calls are too good. Now this is the best time. Try to prepare at least some questions and answers, so that if you have confidence, you can keep directly resume with your name. If you are not able to crack the interview, very first interview, if you don't have that much of confidence, you can keep some other name. I'll tell you how to do that in the last session. I will explain. See, lot of openings are there. Why it is taking this much of time? See, once this application is deployed, then only the status will be changed to register. Once it is changed to register, what will happen?
Then we can able to see in Postman, right? What you have done before.
Yes, we can see in the Postman, and as well as we can apply some policies.
In Postman, right? Before you are doing.
Yes, correct. In Postman only we can apply that policies, and we can.
This client ID and secret ID, right? There are some. Okay.
Client ID, client secret, basic authentication, rate limiting policy, IP blacklist, IP whitelist. So many policies will be there. But in real time, hardly they will use 2 policies. One is basic authentication, and the second one is client ID, client ID enforcement.
I think sir depends on project. Sir, it's a banking project is there, so they will keep both as well, right?
That's what I told you, right?
There are more authentication they require.
Organization. again they may ask you, I will tell you what kind of questions you may get it.
I want to know the proxy as well, sir, because we are getting questions with proxy as well.
So
Yeah,
here
I will.
one question is there. Once we deploy our application, how many days will be there in the
It will be their lifetime.
lifetime, right? There is no
Yes.
30
Until
days.
unless we need to delete that application.
Okay.
See, yesterday I deployed a application, right? Today I
Mhm.
deleted. So if I see now, application is no longer available.
Okay.
See, 30 days is for what? You can check the logs.
Okay.
Your
Whatever
application
we
is
deploy,
deployed, right?
it will be lifetime, right?
It will be their lifetime. Or else it will be problem, right?
Yeah, yes, yes.
Okay. Now see, Calci uploaded successfully and it is deploying. Application is in queue. So this, it may take little time. See, usually it won't take this much of time if you have good bandwidth. See, our application is successfully deployed. Now, if I go to API manager, see, still it is unregistered, right? Status. Now just refresh this. Maybe after a minute, it will be, status will be registered. See, still it is unregistered. We'll wait for 2 more minutes. Can you see here? Now API status is registered. It is active, right? Hello?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay. Now it is active. Should not get like this 500. So now I'll come back here. I'll go to runtime manager. In the runtime manager, we will get one URL. So click on this application. So you will get this here. URL. Just copy this. /API. Okay. See, you got 200 and you can access this. Understood? So now what will happen? I am going to apply some policies over here. Okay. So how to apply this policy? First thing, I can access my application, right? See, I got 200. Now what I'll do, what do you mean by policy first of all? Why we want to set up these policies? Anyone?
Policy
Secure
means
our APIs.
Yes.
Very good. To secure our APIs. So in yesterday also I told you, right? In interview, they may ask you question like this. How do you secure your APIs? So if you want to secure our APIs, you can use HTTPS at transport level. At the API level, we are going to set up some kind of policies. Okay. So there are, different types of policies will be there. So many policies will be there. Everything I made a note and I gave that links as well. So that I already provided in my PPT. You just go through that. But here I'm going to show you complete practical session. So first thing, I want to apply simple policy, basic authentication. Can someone tell me what do you mean by basic authentication?
Username and password.
Very good. Just we need to provide simple username and password. Perfect. Now, where we will apply policies? This is very, very important.
API manager.
Very good. API manager. So in the API manager, select your application. See, in real time, you could see so many applications, but make sure you have to select your application for which application you want to provide policies, apply policies. So select your application. In the left hand side, you can see policies. Just click on this policies. So the moment you selected this policies, can you see apply new policy? Just try to click on this apply new policy. So as we discussed, these are the different types of policies which are available in the API manager. You can see client ID enforcement. Mainly we will use this. Okay. Then IP block list we will use. Why we need to use this IP block list? I will explain. Okay. JWT validation, JWT we will use, and then rate limiting we will use. Okay. And then basic authentication. See, basic authentication simple will be there. Okay. So like this, different types of policies will be. Now, here I'm going to explain I'm going to apply 3 to 4 types of policies here. First, let me go with the basic authentication simple. So click on this, select the latest one. Okay. Basic authentication simple 1.2.2. Click on configure policy. See, the moment you select configure policy, here you just provide something. Okay, anything, any name you can write it. Okay, just you have to provide the username and then password. Okay, let me write something. Can someone tell me one username? Any name?
Mule. Keep it
Okay.
Mule.
MuleSoft. Okay, this is my username.
Yes.
And password also I'm keeping same. MuleSoft. Okay. So make sure you have to remember this username and password. Instead of this username, if you provide some other name, what will happen? You may get error. I'll show you that one as well. Let me apply this policy. See, the moment you apply this policy, immediately it will not reflect. See, if I'm trying to hit the send button, I'm getting the output. See, but the moment if I apply policy, what will happen? If I click on send, what will happen? should throw error. See, 401 unauthorized. See, the moment you apply policy, you have to wait for at least 1 minute. So then policy will be applied. See here, I'm not able to access this API. Why? Because
Authorization required to access this.
can someone read this?
The authentication is set to HTTP basic authentication, but there was no security context in the session.
Okay,
Authentication
what
failed.
it is saying exactly? Error registered authentication is set to HTTPS basic authentication, but there was no security context on this session. Authentication denied to uncontractor HTTP listener. Here you can see the error code 401 unauthorized. That means you are not the authorized person to access this API.
So it has been deleted.
So if you want to get the proper output, what we need to do here? Sorry, what we need to do?
Provide the authentication details in the authorization section there after
Very
parent.
good. Authorization. Then type is there, right? Click on this type. Select the basic. We selected basic authentication, right? What is the username?
MuleSoft.
Very good. MuleSoft. Password also
Same.
MuleSoft. Same. Then click on the send. See, the moment you provided username and password, so you can successfully access your API. Understood? So whenever you are setting up this kind of policies, see, suppose client saying that you need to apply basic authentication to this API. That means you have to ask them, hey, can you please provide the username and password for this? So that same you have to set up it. Or else if they will say you can keep any one of the username and you can share with us. If they will say like this, you can set up one meaningful username and password, you can give it to them. Understood? These credentials you should not share to other developers. Understood? Directly you can share to client. Got it? Or if client will provide it to you, so that you can keep same, so that they can access application. Clear?
Sir, in the RAML based, we are securing the API by secured by, and here is a different. So that is for RAML based, right? Only for in designing center.
Yes, yes. That is only, that is the blueprint.
Okay, okay. To check the API. Okay.
Let me tell you. Very good question. Valid point. Let me ask you in different way. See, in the RAML, you just provided username and password. Sorry, you set up basic authentication, right? Security schemes, correct? In the security schemes, what will happen? Whatever the username, password, if you provided, your API will work, right?
Right.
Even if you provided instead of MuleSoft, if you give XYZ or hero or heroine, anything, if you provide, what will happen? You are getting the result. But let me show you something. If I write, MuleSoft 0, the moment if I click on send, see, authentication attempt failed. But this will not happen in the design center, right? If you want, you can cross check after this class.
Okay.
Okay. So if you provide valid details, then only you can access your API. But in the design center, it will be not like this. If you provide anything also, it will give the, output.
Okay.
Clear? Any questions here
Okay.
in the basic
So
authentication?
just we can say this just for document purpose, right?
Which one?
In the RAML.
RAML is the blueprint. That's it.
Blueprint. That's what I'm saying. Just for to checking how the security policies are working, right?
Correct.
Blueprint.
Yes, yes. This is the actual procedure and implementation.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Now, let me see. In interview, they may ask you question. How do you secure your APIs? Okay. That is one question. What and all the different types of policies which you implemented in your project? That is second question. Okay. Now they may ask you difference between this policy and that policy. Okay. That is another question. Okay. Next, can we apply multiple policies for single API? This question they may ask you. Yes, we can apply multiple policies for single API. Okay, let me show you that one as well. See, right now, which policy I applied?
Basic authentication.
Basic authentication. Now let me apply client ID enforcement. So again, what you have to do? Apply new policy. Select the client ID enforcement. Select the latest version. Scroll down. Configure policy. Very simple. Once you deploy your application, it will be very easy. Click on apply. Okay. See now, client ID enforcement is applied. See, immediately it will not reflect. See, if I go to Postman, if I send, I am getting the output. See, we applied client ID enforcement, right? So we need to wait for 1 minute. Then only policy will be applied, or else you just refresh here and you just wait for at least 1 minute so that policy will be applied. So the moment it is applied, we are not able to get the output. We will get the error. See, still it is not applied. See now, unauthorized. What it is showing? Error, authentication denied. See why it is denied? So I provided username, password, right? Still why it is not, giving the proper output?
Applied client ID enforcement.
Very good. Because I applied another policy for the same API.
Yeah.
So that I need to provide that details as well, right?
So in general, real time, sir, see, if you are saying that multiple policies they can apply, so it is very, it will become layer actually one by one to
Correct.
secure the API.
Yes,
right?
yes. Multiple policies will be there.
Generally, it's happening in the real time because so many, if say, suppose so many policies here.
It will,
already
let
username,
me tell
password.
you, yeah, it will happen. First thing is,
Okay.
if I want to see, if I am trying to make any, if I am trying to call any banking API, okay. Say suppose I want to, transfer some amount to my friend, okay. In this scenario, I need to call one API, right? At the same
Right.
time, multiple people, they are trying to do transaction. Maybe same time
Right.
you are doing payment for electricity bill. Someone is paying rent. Someone is, making some transaction, in any hotel or restaurant. Okay. So in this scenario, what will happen? They are keep on, doing like this. We are getting some kind of error, right? Sometimes server is not reachable when you are making transaction on PhonePe or Google Pay. Sometimes you are getting some kind of error, right? Did you got any error or not?
Yes, definitely. We got.
Why you got that kind of error? Like saying that server was busy, something. Multiple people, they are accessing at a time, so that it is
Yes.
not giving result to everybody at a time. So that's why it is saying that server error or server busy. In this scenario, what we need to do, if you want to give, best result to the user, so you can restrict that API. See, suppose for 1 minute, okay, this API, it will allow only 100 calls. Okay.
Right.
That means
Yes.
what will happen? Only 100 people can access that API. See, if 101%, if you want to access that API, what will happen? Immediately they need to write the query saying that if 101% will call that API, same API will call in a different server. so that he need to access. So that here what will happen, we can reduce the traffic. So how can we do that? I will show you here practically. Here in this scenario, we can apply some rate limiting policy, something. Understood? So first let me fix this issue. Click on headers. So here let me write client underscore ID.
So when the heavy traffic is there, at that time you have a
Yeah, correct. Client underscore secret. So here we need to provide client ID and client secret. Where you will get client ID and client secret? Go back, go to Exchange, select your API. In the right hand side, you will get 3 dots. Click here.
Request, yes.
Request
Create,
access.
request access, yes.
See, if you see in your Exchange, you will not get this option. You will get only view code until unless you have to use API manager and all. Request access. Here you have to select all this.
Application.
Create new application. Testing.
Test.
Okay. Just create it. Okay. Now request access. It will give you the client ID and client secret. Select the client ID and then we just provide here. Next, client secret. We just copy this. Where it is. Provide this and try to hit the send button. You will get the output this time. See, we provided client ID and client secret. Even if you remove one letter here, now if you hit the send button, what will happen? It will show the error saying that invalid client ID or secret. See, invalid client. So you have to provide the proper credentials. Now let me click on send. See, you got the output. This is how we can apply policies. Understood? Next, let me apply one more policy. So again, I'll go to API manager. So select your application. Click on policies. Apply a new policy. So this time I will go with rate limit. Apply. Okay, configure policy. Okay, here request, number of requests 3. I give time period 1 minute. So if I select, what will happen this, for 1 minute, I can hit my API only 3 times. If someone is trying to hit 4th time, what will happen? It will display some error saying that quota has been exhausted something.
Exhausted something.
Okay, now let me click on apply. So once I apply this policy, what I told you, can you see here category? What kind of, first one is basic authentication security. Client ID, this is compliance. Third one, quality of service. That means, quality means, quality of service means what?
Efficiency.
If user is able to hit the API, we need to get the proper output, like any, without any errors and all. So now I hope this policy may be applied. Let me test in the Postman. So I'll come back here. Now I'll click on send. I may get output. First time I got, second time I'll click on it. Second time I got output, and then third time I got output. If policy will be applied, if I click on send, now I may get error. See, quota has been exceeded. 429, too many requests. That means multiple people trying to access same kind of API. So that's why it is giving the error, too many requests. Understood?
Yes, yes.
Yes.
So now when it is going to work this API? Again, after
We have
1 minute.
number
In a
of
minute.
After 1 minute.
Yes, 1 minute.
After 1 minute. Now if you try also, you are getting same error. Quota has been exceeded. Now we will check after 1 minute. That means 8:48. Now we will check this API will work. Okay. Let me click on the send. See, now you got the output. Okay. Again, second time I will get it. Third time I'll get it. This time it will throw error 429. See.
We have to wait for a duration of 1 minute.
So you can set up one time like this. Not only minute. Why I selected minute? If I select day, what will happen? I need to wait for entire day to show the output. Okay. In real time, based on the business requirement, whatever time period they will provide it, accordingly you have to set up. How many requests? See here, I set up only 3. Maybe in real time 50 requests for a minute you can give it, or 100 requests for a minute. Like this you can set up. Understood?
Yes.
Yeah.
Generally, sir, in C, when we are accessing something, now there is one getting error timeout. So which policy they are applied for timeout?
Sorry.
See, suppose for timeout error we are getting, suppose 5 minute we are we are not using that site or something, so we are getting
See,
error.
for timeout, we are not setting up any
Which
policy.
policy?
Suppose
Okay.
if you are accessing the database, okay. So there in the configuration itself, we will get options. Okay. In the configuration, it will wait. See, suppose if you want to access, JMS something. I think I showed you right in one of the topic I explained you right. What was that? If you are not able to receive the message within 15 seconds or something, we may get timeout error.
That is the
What was the
reconnection
concept?
strategy. Reconnection strategy.
Ah.
Retry, right?
No, not the retry. I explained one concept right recently.
Publish consume.
Publish consume. Correct. In object store, I explained right. So I did not applied any kind of policy, timeout and all. Timeout and all, everything we can set up in the development itself. Okay, not in the policy. Now, one more thing. Sometimes what will happen, the moment you joined any organization, you will have some clients, right? Client interviews will be there. What will happen? You have to work with the client machine. That means some of the organizations, they will provide laptops to you. You will get 2 laptops. One is your company, another one is client. Sometimes what will happen, they are not able to provide the laptop. In that scenario, what they will do, they will install Citrix or virtual machines, VMs on your local machine. You are able to access that environment. In that environment, what will happen? Something you are not able to access that. Why? Because they are going to restrict that. So how to restrict that tunnel? We can see it here. Say suppose, let me apply block list. Say suppose this API, I don't want to access with this API. Let me apply new policy. IP block list. Select it. Configure policy. Okay. So here we need to provide the system IP address. How to find out our system IP address? You just type my IP address in your machine. So let me copy this. Where it is. Okay. Now apply it. See, the moment we applied, we need to wait for some time. Okay, if I go back, still it is not yet applied. See, previous policy applied because come on. What happened? Still it is not. 157, I think. Not upon why it is not applied.
So what message you will get, sir, after?
Here you will get the message saying that this IP address was blocked. Okay. Why? Because we are blocklisting that IP address. People who will have access, people who want to access this API, what they will do? They are going to whitelist that API. Whitelist means it will allow. Blacklist means it will not allow to access that kind of API. Maybe I don't know, like I think this IP address is correct or not. Okay, just follow my like what I did, same you can follow. You will get it the output. latitude, longitude, I don't want.
Sir, this week we will try it. We want that one, this one, sir.
Can't we give IP
Auth 2.0. That one also they will ask. I think in this,
IP6?
this one is.
Sorry.
IP4 we are giving, right? Can't we give 6?
No, this is the one you can provide same, but in your mission it will be vary for each and every system. It will be different IP address. Okay, that you can apply. Okay, whatever I explained, all 4 you can apply for one API. Okay, after that there will be some policies which are combination of 2 policies. Okay, let me show you that as well. Now if I go to API manager, so we applied basic authentication, right? Basic authentication simple we applied. Okay, now I'm giving one task, apply new policy, very simple. Basic authentication simple is done, right? Now basic authentication LDAP, so this you can apply, and you just tell me what is the main difference between basic authentication simple and LDAP. Okay, this is one thing. And then in interview they may ask you what is the difference between rate limiting policy. Very important, this they may ask you. Okay.
So rate limiting and rate throttling.
Throttling.
Yes, throttling. Yes.
Throttling policy here it was not there, but in interview question they may ask you what is the difference between rate limiting and throttling. Can you see here rate limiting I applied, right? You can see
Yes.
again rate limiting SLA based. This you can try. These two you have to try. Basic authentication LDAP and rate limiting SLA, because these two are the combination of policies. See, if I'm trying to apply rate limiting SLA based, it will throw error for us. See, some characteristics have already been fulfilled. Understood? That means if you apply rate limiting, you should not apply rate limiting SLA based. So that's why I'm saying you can take, you can try to deploy 2 APIs. First, you can deploy one API, you can apply all the 4 policies, whatever I explained. Second, again, you can apply one more policy and you can apply this rate limiting SLA based and the basic authentication LDAP. So these two I'm giving as a task. You just do it today. Okay. And tomorrow we are going to discuss, not tomorrow, day after tomorrow, we are going to discuss about Salesforce. So that is very important.
Here one more question actually I got actually. See, the proxy already one proxy layer is there. So there above we can apply the policy. Exactly what is
that
exactly
I can
proxy?
tell you. See,
okay.
Yeah, that I can take you separate session. Okay, that is very important. So instead of calling the actual API, we will create a proxies. Then we are going to call that proxy APIs. I will tell you how to do that.
User and role based also we can apply, right?
Sorry?
User
it depends upon requirement. We can apply anything. You can apply message logging, JWT, anything.
Here, how we can create our users and how can we apply?
Users and groups, that it will come in the access management. I'll show you at the end of the course. Okay. I can create a users and I can provide access, so that what will happen, you can see my APIs and you can access my APIs. Okay.
In banking project, when we are opening the net banking, there are username password. Okay, after username password, we know that is basic analysis. But after the confirming through message and that phone number, what is the policy there?
Policy. See, it's not policy. Okay, that is the basic check. Okay, you have to provide the username and password. So that the moment you provided username password, what will happen internally? It will call the database and it will check internally whether this username and password exist or not. If it is exist, it will move to the next process. Okay, or else it will show saying that pop-up saying that invalid username or password like this.
Right.
That is not our duty. Okay.
Okay.
Sir, the basic and the regular policies are applied in the property.
Sorry, basic and
Normal. Mainly the requirement.
so based on the requirement, we need to select which policy we need to apply. Even if you don't know, see, suppose message logging is there. What do you mean by message logging? If you don't know, you just Google it, how to apply message logging policy in MuleSoft, so that they will provide the steps. Same you have to follow. That's it.
Policy name will be given by the
Okay. Okay, guys, we'll catch up day after tomorrow. Try to practice this, and I gave 2 tasks. Try to implement it tomorrow, if not today. And then, if possible, try to create a Salesforce account. If not, I can show you how to create a account and all everything. Okay.
Sir, before Salesforce, now we have to error handler. We have to, I think, do the
Error
class.
handling I'll cover last. Error handling I'll cover
last.
last.
JMS
Why?
also
Because that is very, very important.
Yes, yes.
Okay. And what will happen? I will explain you, basic error handlings in the class. In advanced level, I can share 1 or 2 videos. Okay. Very advanced level. Okay. So that in interview you can crack very easily. Okay,
The
guys.
SLA certificate, whom is providing?
Sorry,
SLA certificate, who is providing?
SLA certificate.
Yes, who is providing?
No, I did not get you.
So
See,
actually,
SLA.
when we are putting a HTTPS transport layer, okay, there we are,
Key store and trust
configure.
store. Okay.
Yes.
That client they will provide.
Okay.
Okay.
Client will provide. Okay.
If not
SLA
development, we need to create by our own. Yeah. So that
Okay.
key store and trust store details client will provide. Okay, that you have to provide it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
See, in real time in the office, it will be very easy. Everything they will provide, we need to do it. Here, what will happen? Everything we need to create by our own. That is the difference. Okay. Okay,
Yes, sir.
guys. We'll catch up day after tomorrow, and we will finish this weekend entirely. Thank you, guys.